And we're back. Let's just get to the afternoon highlight here. It was Rory McIlroy. This was a big group for a lot of reasons, not only because it had Brooks Koepka coming off a runner-up finish at the Masters, the PGA Championship, Rory McIlroy, but it was also just you had the LIV golfer, you had the PGA Tour golfer, and you had Hideki just playing the middleman, playing Switzerland, not stirring the pot, not doing anything to get everybody out of line. And Rory McIlroy, KP, goes off in a flurry. I thought we were on 59 watch for a second. I actually stayed with this group way longer than I wanted to because he goes out in 30, including 3 under through his first 5 under through 8. He did not. I take that back. He missed one shot. He missed one shot on the front 9. It was his tee shot on 6, the short par 4. Everything else was flawless.
It was well, Patrick, I think Rick's exact words were, "I really need to eat, but I can't come in." Something like that. It was hilarious. I was in here grinding 1,200 words on Ricky's 62, and Rick's just running around LACC, just delighting in the ball striking extravaganza. It was okay. So I said about Hovland, I didn't necessarily think this was a great golf course for him. I actually sort of felt that way about Rory too. I didn't come into the week thinking like, oh, this screams Rory McIlroy. Now I think he's helped out. I don't think this is a surprise, but I think he's helped out by the fact that it was a little softer. It was receptive. It was it wasn't Shinnecock, right? And I think that's beneficial to him. However, he flushed everything he looked at. And to hit what he hit 16 greens.
Yeah, I think he only missed the last 2.
He missed 16 and 18.
Oh, 16 and 18.
16 was just off too, yeah.
Yeah, he actually used putter, but he technically missed it, yeah.
So that's it was really impressive. He had Brooks down like if they were playing match play, I think it was like he had Brooks 6 down through 7 holes or something like just crazy like that. So I was just, for somebody that's been, I don't know about struggling with his wedges, but not dialed, certainly, like not precise with them. He just hit every shot, and I think the story of the weekend for me right now is, what does Rory do when they dial up the firmness and like how fast this golf course plays? Because that's coming. That's going to happen. Everybody knows that. And sometimes that's been, Rory's turned himself into a very, very good U.S. Open player. Like Patrick mentioned earlier, 4 straight top 10s, but he hasn't had that U.S. Open where he's like, okay, I'm the guy after 54, come get me. That's how he wins major championships. So I'm excited for it. I think that the way he hit it on Thursday, if he keeps hitting it like that, like he's a real, this could happen type thing. And for Rory to add LACC to his collection, to match Brooks with 5 while he's playing in front of him, it's to me right now, it's him and Scheffler for the story of the event going into the next 3 days.
It is not. I think that firm and fast might be coming, Patrick, but like Rory's going to go out early tomorrow. There's going to be a marine layer. It rained this morning, right? You get this like little mist, and they didn't put any water on it, and it was still very receptive. There's a chance Rory backs this up immediately with another low one.
Oh, he's very much in the driver's seat, him and DJ right now. If they could somehow put together something in the mid-60s tomorrow, they will be looking very pretty heading into the weekend. And 2 things kind of struck me about Rory McIlroy today. One, I think the Brooks Koepka pairing was very big for the mentals. I don't think he'd ever admit it, but I think you're paired with someone who just surpassed you, right? It has always been Rory McIlroy is, leading the active players outside Phil with major championships. That's no longer the case. And now you get to stare that guy right in the face for the first 36 holes. There's got to be some, little bit of extra internal motivation there. I would think so. And you see him come out, throw a couple punches early. with those 5 birdies. But the second thing I noticed was he's very okay not hitting driver, and that happened on
10.
3 and 10. Yeah. And they made a point of it in the broadcast on 10. They're like, why is he laying back so much? And I love it. I love that he understands it's his weapon. And he drove the absolute crap out of the golf ball today. He would have been number 1 off the tee if that guy didn't nearly make a hole in one on number 6. And so being able to kind of rein in, and Kyle, you talk about it all the time with, smart, boring golf with Scotty Scheffler. Rory's he has like a weird balance where he has so much firepower. I think he has more firepower than Scheffler. I don't think that's up for debate. Where that decision to reel it in and play boring golf is even more difficult. But it feels like he's learning how to do it almost. And I thought today was a great example of that.
Yeah, this goes back to the PGA. I want to see him trust it, right? Like he doesn't trust himself to be there after 72 holes. And that's so interesting for a 4-time major winner. I know he hasn't done it in a long time, and there's times where it feels to him like he's a 0-time major winner. He's talked about that before, but I just want to see him trust, like, hey, my stuff right now, even though it's maybe not the best stuff I've ever had, it's still good enough to be in the top 2 or 3 after 63 holes, like with 9 left on Sunday. And I think, Patrick, it's really important for him to shoot 65 in the first round, because he said this at the PGA. He was talking about the Masters. He goes, listen, I go out and I'm 8 down to Rahm or whoever, I don't remember who it was. And I started thinking about that. And so now he's in it straight away. Like, he's in it. And he could actually be the guy that if he shoots 65 again on Friday morning, that everybody's looking at him and saying, oh, I'm 7 down to Rory going into my second round. Like, Max Homa's going to be like, I'm 8 down to Rory right now. And that is, I think, really, really important for him. Whether it should be or not, I think it is. And I think that is going to be, I think it's going to be really interesting to see where he stands after that second round on Friday morning.
I'm going to make a big leap here, KP. I'm going to put together a couple of ideas we've been workshopping. I'm going to make a big leap. This doesn't really feel like a major championship out there on the golf course. Good for Rory McIlroy. He gets a little serenity. All his practice rounds were early by himself. Him and Harry going out there. It's just the fans are nowhere near you. Do you feel it might be subconscious that when you're constantly, when you have like a Phoenix Open situation where the fans are, it's just like it makes it feel different. This feels like an elite round at an elite country club is what it feels like.
You know how much media he's done this week, Rick?
0. Did he do anything after this round? I'm telling you, dude, this is it, man. He's playing country club golf, and he's gonna get a major championship for it.
He gave the Heisman again, which, you know what? Hell yeah! Like, we were joking about this after the PGA. Me and a couple other guys, like, you know what Rory should do is like tell everybody in the media, like, screw you guys. I talk for 30 minutes every day, every week. I don't need to talk to you guys anymore. And he's too kind to say it like that, but it's kind of what he's done this week. And I kind of love it. It's kind of sweet.
Yeah,
so
he wants to do one bit of media, the winner's presser on Sunday night.
Exactly.
How's your guys' week?
We have a lot to catch up on.
Yeah, listen, like I've talked to him about this before. I think he's somebody that he's somebody who takes in everything around him. He always knows where everybody is, what everybody's doing. He's constantly taking stuff in. And in a major week with the heightened amount of emotion that there is, that can really wear you down by the end of the week. And it's the way he processes things. It's the way he just sort of lives his life. And I don't know that he can change that. But I think you're right. I think it's really helpful for him to not have a million things to take in. Now, the counter to this is he didn't play very well during COVID, and he kind of blamed it on fans not being there and not having the energy and all that stuff. So I don't know that it's like foolproof or 100% true, but I think this sort of subdued type major championship with some people here, but not as many as you normally see. I do think that could work to his advantage, but also I've said like 100 other things would work to his advantage, and he still doesn't have a major in the last 9 years.